Okay, we are going to continue on with our new playthrough of Final Fantasy XIV. We have started a new character on a new server, and we have basically gotten off the boat, done the intro game tutorial, and now we are actually going to get started. So even though technically we've completed the tutorial, the game is going to send you on a series of activities around the capital city that you started in. That'll help you familiarize you with some of the mechanics that will continue throughout the entire game. In this case, this individual is telling me to go to the center of town and attune to the Aetheryte. Aetherites are large crystals that channel the life essence, the energy source of this planet called Aether. They channel those and allow you to teleport from Aetheryte to Aetheryte to Aetheryte. It's how you get around the world. So this is part of the main scenario quest, the main quest of the game. I will also have a secondary quest that is specific to my job. I selected Arcanist. The most interesting thing about Arcanist is that it is the only job that transitions into two different. So this game is built around the idea that every character can be everything they want to be. You can be every type of crafter, you can be every type of warrior. It's up to you. The system is based on, you have a starting class. In this case, my starting class is Arcanist. Your class is determined by the weapon you hold in your hand. So in this case, I hold a grimoire. It's a book, essentially a magic book. By having that book in my hand, that makes me an Arcanist. Once I hit level 30 and complete a series of quests, I will get a job crystal, a soul crystal. What that does is it converts my class of Arcanist, will turn me into either a summoner, which is a damage dealer, or a scholar, which is a healer. Good thing about this class is that you level it to 30 and you instantly have access to both jobs. So I have a level 30 healer and a level 30 damage dealer right out of the gate. They have a lot of the same spells, a lot of the same functionality, at least in the beginning, and then it branches out from there. We will be picking up quite a few jobs while we're here once we have access to it. I believe, it's been a while since I've been this low level, but I believe I have to get to level 10 before I can select another. And then we will essentially be hopping around, picking up different jobs as we go to different cities. Oh, I guess I'm leaving, so I didn't do something I was supposed to. I'm already failing at the quest. So attune myself to the Aetheryte, which is that way. Listen to Swalsblate's explanation of the markets and visit the Arcanist Guild. Apparently I need to talk to somebody immediately. I am really struggling here. This is quite embarrassing. Who do I need to talk to? Okay, back at it here. So these little Q-shaped bubbles with the exclamation points in them are secondary quests. They're quests you can pick up. They will usually give you items. They will give you materials. In this case, I think it's going to give me some potions. Sometimes you'll get food, crafting items. Ooh, look at me. I'm picking up all kinds of flowers. This is for the secondary quest that I picked up. Follow the breadcrumbs. So you can see on my map here, I've got little icons which will correspond with those things on the ground to tell you, hey, this is a quest item that you need to interact with. Understanding what these icons mean really help you figure out where you need to go. So this is a secondary quest marker. It's inside that little queue. This is a quest I can pick up, just like the one I picked up upstairs. This is the main scenario quest. You can see it's indicated with that little flame icon around it. That tells you that it's a main scenario quest. There's another objective for my main scenario quest. And finally, the last objective for my main scenario quest. I have 3 things to do. So we will pick up our flowers on our way to the Aetheryte. Alright, so you saw once I picked up all those things, an icon went green. That's your quest check-in, your turn-in marker. This was nice enough to essentially lead me to this NPC to teach me how quests work in this game. He apparently dropped all of his flowers, and he's going to give me 10 earth shards, which are crafting materials, and 2 potions, which are used to restore health on the fly. Not really going to pick up any side quests right now. I'm just going to continue on with the main scenario quest and my job or my class quest, so I can start moving towards level 10 and get my additional classes. Alright, so I learned Return. That is a castable spell that has a pretty lengthy cooldown, 900 seconds. This will return me to this Aetheryte, which is currently my home point. You can set it to be any Aetheryte in the world, but your first is your return point. That's a free teleport anytime it's up. This is also the location that I will return to if I die out in the field and someone doesn't resurrect me. This is where I'll pop back up. So that's why it's important. 1, it's free. All other teleports in the game cost gil, cost currency. So if you go to a place that you think you're going to be for a while, maybe consider setting that to your return point. That way you get more free teleports to it. I don't have access to teleport yet because I don't have another Aetheryte. Once I unlock another Aetheryte, I should get the ability to teleport between them. But what we will do is attune ourselves to the smaller Aetherytes that are spread about the city. That will allow me to quick teleport for free within the city from location to location. So now he's basically telling me if you need to buy something, you can purchase them from these vendors. Every capital city has a row or two of vendors that sell everything a beginning adventurer could need, whether it's crafting items for low-level recipes or low-level gear, food, potions, ethers, which restore your mana, really anything. They'll have an NPC that will repair, because as you take damage and as you die, your gear degrades. So that's something you need to keep an eye on. If it breaks, you lose the stats associated with that, so that really is really detrimental to your character. So this NPC sells supplies for trade crafts, which are crafting. This person will sell jewelry, like earrings, rings, necklaces. This person will give you a retainer, which is used to sell items on the market board, and they can go out on missions. We'll cover that in a later video, not quite ready to get into that. Apothecary, he will sell potions. Culinarian, get some food. We have 103 gil. Let's see what we can buy. So the type of food that you want to purchase is going to vary depending on what spells you're going to use. If you are going to be a tank type character, you're going to use things that are more set towards vitality. If you're a physical damage dealer, you're going to focus more on strength. If you're somebody who strongly benefits from making your actions faster, you might go with skill speed, like this one. If you're a magic dealer that really wants to work on regaining their mana, you might go with something that has piety on it. Or if you're a caster that is a damage dealer that wants to go faster, they would use something like this for spell speed. So I'm going to buy a few of these for spell speed because that's more focused on causing damage, but I'm also going to buy a couple of these in case mana becomes an issue. I don't think it will be. There are also foods for gathering and crafting. The most important thing is that every type of food, no matter how high or low level it is, always gives you 3% additional experience. So when you're leveling your character, you need to have food going all the time, especially if you're running a dungeon or higher end content for your level, doing fates, leave quests, which are fates and leave quests are things that you do out in the world that are not traditional quests. You need to have food on. So I bought a couple different types of food because of the different jobs I'm going to pick up. So I'm going to have a tank, I'm going to have a healer, and I'm going to have this damage dealing caster for now. I may pick up some other jobs just to show you them and kind of introduce you to every single job in the game. But for right now, this is what we're going to start with. So I'm going to drag this food down. Anything, any button, anything in a menu, all of these things can be moved to a hotbar if you really want it to be. Very, very convenient. So if I wanted to put my map on here, I could. I have set up a few buttons to work for my map, but if you wanted a button, you could. We will continue on with our main scenario quest. We're going to pick up this aetheryte. You can tell once you've attuned to an aetheryte, you will see glowy sparkles, like these sparkles here. They will surround the aetheryte, and you'll see that it has these beautiful glowing accents. This tells you that you're attuned to it, and that is a travel point for you now. Here we have the second half of the vendors, all the people that you can buy things from, sell things to. As you pick up things in the world, there are going to be a lot of things you have no use for, or if, let's say, you don't want to craft at all. You may get a lot of crafting items. You may sell them just to vendors for quick gil, or you may put them up on the market board, which is essentially an auction house. You can sell to other players. You set the price, you put it up on the board, and if they want it, they buy it. They instantly have it, and you get the money in your retainer. This person is basically saying, oh, would you like to become an Arcanist? All classes start out with an initial, here's what it's about, here's what it does, here's the flavor, and then talk to me again, do you think you want to do this? Now, because this is my starting class, it's not going to ask me that if I want to, well, actually it looks like it will. It will ask me again, do you want to do this, even though I really selected that. I don't have much of a choice, but now I get to talk to the quest giver, who's always going to be the guild master for whatever class you select. Always the question, are you prepared to something specific to the job or class that you're picking up? In this case, Arcanists, even though they're magic dealers, are very rooted in logic and reason. They're very studious. I mean, they're carrying around essentially a textbook as their weapon. So congratulations to me. I get my first quest, which is Way of the Arcanist. I have to go kill rats, kill Aurelie, and kill ladybugs. Yes, the new hero of Eorzea is a ladybug murderer. So now our quests are branching a little bit. The main scenario quest is telling me to go back up to the Adventurers Guild, to the initial gentleman that gave me the quest, and inform him of how things are going, and then I will continue on with my class quest. Now I could get up there a variety of ways. You can use the lift because it takes you directly to that room, or there are quite a few sets of like staircases and ramps on the outside of the city that will take you to the second level. All capital cities are multi-sectioned. This one happens to be, one on top of the other, but the other capital cities, you just go through a tunnel or a different section, you enter a different part of the city. Okay, so now he wants to give me another quest, but it is only for level 4, as indicated by the red icon. Obviously the game expects me to be doing some of these other quests and my class quests, so we're going to knock that out. Sometimes it can be difficult to determine exactly where a quest is when you're coming from a capital city because they have so many entrances and exits, so many different levels. It's kind of hard to tell, okay, where do I go to get this? I see that it's in a zone near me, but I can't quite tell. So first you use your map, and I suggest kind of zooming in. As you can see, this looked like it was going to be over here, and if I had run over there, I would have gotten closer and realized that's not actually the case. It wants me to go out this gate. So the gate that I'm facing, which is straight this way, I'm just going to run straight out there and get to my quest. There's my little icon telling me, hey, your quest is over here. Double up on food, so you can see now I have an hour of benefits, spell speed, additional 3% XP, which is great. See, hey, I just got my first achievement. I've mapped the lower realm by entering this section of Lanosia. So here, I've got quite a few things to kill. You can tell that these are enemies that are related to a quest by the little Q icon over top of them. Person went ahead and aggroed that one, so I'll move on to another. So right now I only have one spell, Ruin, 2.49 cast time, deals unaspected damage with a potency of 100. So essentially what it's saying is, it does damage, but it doesn't have any affinity. It's not a fire spell, it's not a electricity spell, it's not an ice spell, it's just random magic damage. It doesn't have an aspect. Now I've learned Bio. This is a damage over time spell. It's good to start a fight with. That way it gets ticking. See that it's ticking down, and we'll look at all that damage that it already caused. Alright, I've killed all my Wharf Rats. You can see the icon above the Wharf Rat characters went away, just like it will once I kill a couple more ladybugs. So if you've never played an MMO before, the style that this game uses is very traditional as far as how combat functions, how spell casting, ability casting works. You essentially have these series of buttons that you can customize that I did at the beginning. You could click on them with your mouse if you wanted to. Click that and now I can sprint. Or you can assign them keys on your keyboard or your device. So in this case I've got these mapped to Tab, Q, W, E, the numbers 1 through 10 because I have a mouse that has these buttons on it, so it's easy for me to get to. And then these are Shift and the numbers, so I can quickly access this row of abilities without moving my mouse down there. That's a lot faster than, okay, let me come down here and click on this, and oops, I accidentally clicked on the wrong one. Much more efficient to do it that way, but it is more complicated. So as you gain spells, it will usually just put them in a row. Definitely feel free to click this little icon and experiment with where do I want them to be? Where makes the most sense? What feels right for the way my hands sit on the keyboard? You could also play this with a PlayStation controller if you wanted to. I've never personally enjoyed that, but I I know a lot of people that play with controllers and absolutely swear by it. So here, we don't have any Aurelii near us, so we open up the map and we have this sort of orangish halo. This indicates that you don't know where the enemy is, they're just in that area. There's not a specific icon saying, here's where this person is. You can see them up here, now they're starting to pop up. So we just kill a couple of these and we'll be on our way. Now these enemies are passive enemies because this is a very low level area and it would be very easy for someone to get themselves killed if all of the enemies in the area immediately attacked them. They were aggressive. So all these have these little passive icons. I could run right over top of them like this ladybug and they don't really care. Excuse me. But once I attack them, of course, or do a spell that impacts them in some way, like an area of effect or a taunt, which gets their attention, they will turn to me and start attacking me and attack me until I kill them, they kill me, or I run away. Now, this is a timed attack. He's basically putting electricity in front of him. Anytime you see anything orange on the ground, get out of it. That's pretty much the rule from beginning of the game to the end of the game. I'm going to wait a few seconds for my health to come back. I'm going to put these potions down here just in case bad things happen. See, I stood in that one this time, and I was afflicted with paralysis, which every few seconds will stop my spell casting. It'll stop me from moving. Makes it very difficult to attack, especially when you have long cast times. You're likely to have that go off and keep you from doing what you need to do. Definitely want to avoid those things if at all cost. There are a wide variety of area of effect spells. Some of them are circles, some of them are lines, some of them you can't necessarily avoid, but you need to do something with them, like run them away from other people or run them to other people. Sometimes you'll get an icon over top of you that says you need to stack with other people in your group if you're doing like a dungeon. And if you don't, it might kill you, but if you're with people, it won't. Alright, so we are heading back to town to complete our quest, and this will bump us up probably to level 3, which means we'll have to do some more questing, some more quote-unquote grinding, as they refer to in the gaming world, the MMO world especially, where you kind of hit a roadblock. Now, when we were in town earlier, we saw quite a few quests that I ignored. Obviously, if I was picking all of those up and doing them, I would be level 4 already. So we might pick up 1 or 2 of them. This one here, see what this person wants. So this quest wants us to go interact with somebody who's apparently in a bad mood. Anytime you see orange text like this, that means it's an emote. It wants you to go and target the person or the thing and do an emote that matches what the quest text says. So here's my person. I go to my emotes. And I'm looking for Neil. Let's try to find Neil. There we go. I'm going to put it on my bar in case I need it anytime soon. So had I just clicked on her or done a different type of emote, she would have given me a, hey, what are you doing? Get out of here response, and I wouldn't have progressed the quest. So now we've got disappointed. So we need to show her that we're disappointed. Now here, I lost my target of her. So instead of kneeling before her or showing her that I'm disappointed, I just am disappointed because I didn't have anybody targeted when I used it. We're basically retelling her story to her via emote. We're basically getting her off her butt and reminding her that she's a pirate and she needs to stop sulking about. Go back to our quest giver. We get experience and money. Look at that, that already took us to 3. Over here and make sure we got this 8th right. I can't remember if we did or not. Yes, we did. So we're going to go here, and we're going to teleport to the Arcanist Guild, because that's one of the locations I unlocked. It will save me a lot of walking time.